Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we got a good one for you. We are going to review our first MSC cruise, and this is going to be a good one. So honey, why don't you tell them about it?
Well, we decided to book a 5-day cruise out of Port Canaveral, Florida, going to Nassau in the Bahamas and the MSC Marine Reserve Island, Ocean Cay.
That's right, and they were both beautiful places to visit. But we booked passage on the MSC Seashore. Now this is a big, beautiful boat. I'm just gonna be honest. I fell in love with it the moment we saw it when we pulled in and parked at port. But just a quick history: the actual Seashore was launched in August of 2020, and it can hold 4,540 passengers. That's 4,540 souls at double occupancy. All right, so that's two per room. So that's a pretty big ship. It's not a small one. But honey, I think we need to talk to them about the amenities on board.
So there was tons of amenities, but the first one I think I am going to start with is the duty-free shops. There is all different kinds of duty-free shops on the ship, and I went shopping at a couple of those.
Yes, you did. And it was drawn in by a free something, which got her to spend her money. So they did their jobs in there. Now, the next one I want to talk about is one that we didn't think that we were going to see, and that was the arcade. There was all kinds of games in there, and all kinds of different prize category games too, which I didn't expect to see, because they had the sit-on games and stuff, but they also had ones that had little prizes you could win, which I'm sure the kids loved.
And it was kind of nice because it was tucked away in a nice little spot to where your kids were kind of contained if you were in there.
Yeah. And then
one that I wanted to enjoy but I ended up not getting to is this ship has water slides.
yep. And those water slides lead down into the kids' play area. But unfortunately, we didn't take the time to go get on the water slides like we should have, because we were too busy doing other things on the ship, like going to the gym.
They have a very nice gym in there. Tons of treadmills that's facing the ocean.
Yep.
Bikes.
Yeah, we went in and got our steps. They have awesome free weight setups. They have machines. They have spin class area in the back, where they do spin classes on the bikes. It had everything any quality gym would have, but you have it on top of a giant cruise ship.
But whenever you leave the gym, you can go to the pools, which
Yeah.
is always one of my favorites on the cruise ships because I love hanging out by the pools.
They have much different layout of pools on this ship than we're used to, just the normal two or three little splash pools. We already talked about the kids area, so there's pools there. And there is various other pools on the ship, but we got to talk about the one we like the best, which is a very strange pool because it's in the rear of the ship and it's tiered. So whatever amount of water you want to sit in, it tiers down to it, and there's two sides to it. We spent quite a bit of time in there lounging with drinks.
Yes.
And they have weird lounge chairs that go in the water.
Yes.
And
And we enjoyed those for a long time.
We spent hours in that sipping on adult beverages. But overall, I think the entire pool scene was awesome on this ship. Now, one thing that we don't have to deal with anymore, at least until the grandbabies start going on trips, is the kids' camp area. We weren't able to go inside and get any real footage of it, but all the kids were super excited to get in there. When we were filming, you had to walk around the door because all the kids were getting excited trying to get in when they were opening that morning. So clearly the kids like it in there. But up by that,
There was also a table game area that had, I believe, foosball and a couple other table
it was
games.
foosball, ping pong, pool. There was two or three others that weren't from American-based games. So yeah, it's just an area just around from the camp area, and it's tons of games. You could just walk up and start playing. It seemed like a nice area to me to get away if you wanted to like have some time with your family.
And a lot of adults' favorite hobbies.
Yes.
The casino.
Yeah, the casino is loaded in that place with table games to just regular spinning slots. You actually tried your hand this time.
I did. I actually played a few slots this time. It was fun. We were in there for probably maybe 45 minutes.
Yep, $10 equated to about 45 minutes for us, but we were playing on the penny slots. We don't care. And we were done when we were done. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of people having a real good time in there, and they have an excellent bar in that one. So, also something you didn't get to do this time, but you were talking about was the spa.
Yeah, so they have a pretty good-sized spa.
It was huge.
They have, obviously, massages. Mm-hmm. They have different therapies. They have the barber in there.
Yeah, they have
hairstylist in
full
there.
Full hair thing and nails.
They have, the nails. That's
they have
what
a full hair and nail setup in there. So if you want anything done, they have the full setup. And then they also had the mud stuff, the mud facials and all that. So yeah, it was pretty intense. They have the body shaping too. So,
I think I'm going to do that next time we go.
I don't blame you. I really couldn't believe you didn't go. But then, of course, you've got the photo gallery where you can get your photos done, or you can actually buy work from people on the ship or other talented artists.
There was a lot of people on this ship that was getting photos done.
Lots.
And they did some excellent photos. So whenever we walked by there and looked at some of them, they were...
Yeah. But one of the other amenities that I'm telling you, like, I bet you a quarter of the ship were doing that.
And I couldn't sucker him into it.
No, was the dance classes. You guys do not understand how hardcore these dance classes go.
I feel like they had multiple dance classes every day.
Yeah, and they
different ones.
They would overrun the floor. The dance floor would be full packed, and it just get bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it's blocking the walkways, these dance classes. So it was amazing to see so many people of all age groups get involved, from little tiny
and it
toddlers.
Definitely was kids up there and everyone.
Everybody was doing it. So I was like, man, those were definitely some of the more popular amenities on the ship. Now,
let's talk about the shows and entertainment.
Yep, it's time.
Because this is one of our favorite things to do.
Well, we're going to come out swinging with the first one because I felt like when he put on his show, it was pretty amazing. And that was the magic show.
The magic show was awesome. And he engaged the audience, got a couple people out of the audience up there to help him out.
Yep.
Excellent job. I cannot say enough about this guy.
Well, I don't want to give away too much of the show because I want you guys to go see it. But let's just say that I've seen some straight jacket removal things, but he took the cake, and his assistant was amazing. So,
the next one is the comedian.
We died laughing at his show.
He was so funny. We went to the 18 and over show, and oh my gosh, he kept us rolling the entire time we were there.
Yep, and then you've got the ship performers that put on the Broadway performance one night. I thought they did an excellent job. I mean, let's be real, it's the ship's cast, so they have to be multifaceted, and I think they did a very good job that night.
I think they did too. But they also did great on the night that they did the rock show.
I think they excelled more at the rock show, honestly, because they were hitting some stuff that I would not even attempt.
Well, I feel that you can have more fun with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they had fun because they were all over the place, took turns on who the lead singer was, and they had a blast. And they did some great songs.
Yep. And then you had the guys that came out and did the performance that was like feats of strength and balance. And I don't know how they do it.
Those boys are in top-notch health.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be, and you also have to trust the other guys you're with that their strength's going to be there to hold you up. So that was pretty amazing that they have those feats of strength and not get hurt And some of them looked like they were about to fall, and the other guys would catch them, and I just was like holding my breath.
And then we met the one couple out in the pool, chatted with them for a little bit, and we went to karaoke night, and who was excelling there?
Yeah, they were tearing it up at karaoke. It was so much fun, and that sunk in area there where they were doing the karaoke in the back of the ship is just awesome. I mean, honestly, and people were down there tearing it up. I like to go to karaoke and see people screw up songs. Nobody was screwing up songs that night. That was like, I don't even want to get up there because I can't even come close to competing with those people. It was a good time. It was a really good time. So, now, the karaoke was fun, but some of the games they had going on in the main area were fun to watch too. Because they would have little games where you would guess that song or lip sync or different little game show type stuff. And you'd sit there at the upper bar and just have a drink and walk over to the edge and be able to look down. And it was literally hours of entertainment. They did such a good job with all their little games they had.
And the people engaged in them very well.
Yes, all the people on the ship were not shy about it. They jumped in.
And there was also various music throughout the ship of different little bands and each one of the little...
Yeah, they had the two-piece. There was a two-piece band. I think it was like a husband and wife. They were all over, and they were doing different facets of music, but you'd find them at a different place kind of every couple hours performing. And then in the evenings, you'd find them on a stage somewhere, really tearing it up. But there was music everywhere and entertainment everywhere on that ship. You really couldn't walk around a corner and not hear something going on and be able to follow it to another fun time. Now, we've given them some about the shows and stuff. I think you need to give them some about the actual cabin.
All right. So, the cabin that we booked was an interior cabin. But about 6 weeks before we left, MSC upgraded us to a balcony cabin.
Yep. And that was...
For free of charge. I need to put that in there. We didn't pay anything for this upgrade.
It's because she's famous. No, we think, because this is an off-season, we think that we got upgraded. That way they could resell our cheaper room because those are probably easier to fill than the more expensive balcony. But we weren't complaining whatever it was. It was awesome.
Because we definitely enjoyed this balcony room. I felt that it was definitely big enough for two people.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it was plenty big enough for two people.
And the bed was so comfortable, actually.
And so was the couch. If I'm being honest, I feel like the bed and the couch were both very comfortable.
Because I know on our last cruise, we didn't really use the couch much or anything, but we did. We sat on the couch and watched TV and did a few things. The bathroom was a comfortable size, but the one thing that I feel like we really enjoyed on this one was it wasn't a shower curtain. It was actually glass doors.
That's right. And it made it so nice because, A, the entire bathroom wouldn't get wet when you took a shower. The curtain wasn't sticking to you. And to be honest, I feel like it controlled the steam in there better.
Yeah, and the water didn't come out because those showers are already so small. The water didn't come out from under it, like it does on a shower curtain.
Yep.
So I just think that it was way more efficient. It was a very clean room. Didn't have any complaints about how clean it was, and it was a very modern look to it, I felt.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like it's been redone a couple times to try and pass it off a little longer. I mean, obviously the ship was built in 2020, but that's a lot of years of a lot of people abusing it, and it didn't look abused at all.
And it had lots of storage.
That had a giant amount of storage comparatively. Remember the sliding cabinets there? I mean, those things could hold a ton of stuff. Granted, we're slobs. We have crap piled everywhere, but... generally speaking, if you wanted to squeeze like 2 adults and 2 kids in that room and you want to put everything away, you definitely could. That has actually a lot of storage in it.
Another nice thing about it was that there was 2 American outlets in our room.
Yeah, and lots of times you only get one. So that was nice. Now, they did have like a recharge pad but we couldn't get that to work. I don't know. Maybe it's an Apple thing. I don't know. Our Androids wouldn't charge on it, so it might have just been it was broken. I'm not really sure. But why don't you talk about one of your favorite parts, the parts that we sat out and did options on?
So that was the balcony. And we normally would never splurge for the balcony because we figure we wouldn't be out there that much. But we did end up trading options one morning out there on the balcony, had coffee. And it was nice as you went into port to be able to see things. Like whenever we got to the Marine Reserve, our balcony was actually facing the Marine Reserve. So it was beautiful at night.
Yeah, it really was. We ended up getting to see a lot of stuff that was going on at night down there too. So it was basically having your own front row seat. But you need to talk about the crew and how they treated our room.
So that room attendant was top notch. Let me tell you. We could leave the room for an hour and come back. Beds were made. We had multiple pairs of glasses there. So we have our sunglasses, our reading glasses, extra of both. And they would be very neatly organized. Everything would be cleaned up that we had messed up in the last hour. And could not ask for a better room attendant.
Yeah, and he put up with a lot because we're YouTubers. So the entire countertop, most people have like makeup spread across it. Now I got camera gear, I got chargers, I got microphones, and every time I come back in there, he'd have it all organized again. I'm like, oh my gosh. And he did it like 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. I'm not kidding, guys. So for some people, you know, if you're like super particular about privacy and you don't want people in there all the time, this might be like I don't like this. But for us, we felt that it was very nice that they took their job that serious and went that extra mile.
We were impressed.
Now we have to talk about what makes my big belly happy, and that's the food. So right off the bat, we have to tell you, we are buffet people. All right, that is just, we have come to find out that we're not really about a lot of restaurants or sit down. I don't really care about being served. So we tend to stick to the buffet. So that's what I want to cover first because I feel like that's where we spent the most time. So you have to understand, we went into this expecting because of the cost that this would be very low class buffet. And we were pleasantly surprised to find out we were very wrong. First off, there's a large selection and it changes constantly. But also there is 4 areas that are like mini buffets. So there's seating all around it. So you kind of can have your own buffet at each area.
So make sure that you explore, though, whenever you go in there. Because the first day we thought the buffet was one thing. And then we found out it extends way wider.
Oh my gosh. And it's seating. You may go in there and this whole area is packed. And if you walk down and go to the next round, there'll be nobody sitting there in a full open buffet with nobody at it. So you really have to make sure you walk the whole area and understand the layout because it is kind of weird, but it's to serve more people easily. I mean, there literally is what I call 4 mini buffets that you can sit around, and 2 of them usually no one's around. And they do open and close them differently at times. So, but one of the things that really amazed me is their daily carving station. Did you hear what I just said? A carving station. So they would have like pork butt or they would have leg of lamb and it'd be just getting carved off. It'd be a full-on carving station. Or they'd have like a chuck roll and they'd be carving off of it. So it really was amazing to see the difference between this buffet and others we've been on. Now, this is going to be debatable. And I understand that we still have other cruises and other all-inclusive resorts we got to go to. But currently as it stands, MSC has the best pizza on the sea, in my opinion. And I will fight anyone that says different until I taste something that's better. Now, they do have their little kids' pizzas. And then you'll go over and find the pizza station with all the authentic pizzas like sun-dried tomatoes and different cheeses, and I can just tell you their pizza is the bomb. Now,
The desserts was my favorite.
this is an Italian line, so you know they're going to escalate their desserts a little bit more. It is a buffet, they got to keep it cheap, but the difference is these ones,
actually taste sweet and taste like desserts.
yeah, so you look at the desserts on most buffets and cruise ships, and they look pretty, and then you go taste them, and it's kind of like, they're not really that sweet, or they're not really that decadent. These ones were a step above. I won't say they were the best, but they definitely actually had flavor, which
Yes.
was a huge, huge improvement.
And they
I
had a
can't
huge
tell you.
selection. And right with the desserts, they had an ice cream machine.
Yep, and they had sugar-free options as well, which were also very, very good. Now,
My least favorite part, and they did have an okay, but was their salad area. I feel that they could have improved on the selection. For me, it was very basic.
yeah, that's true. And you got the fruit bar. The fruit bar, I think, was actually a step above, which made up for the salad bar, in my opinion, because they basically swapped out 2 or 3 traditional areas we were going to fruits daily, and then would swap in something else. So, I mean, we had like star fruit, we had
Was it passion fruit?
passion fruit, but they would just swap it out. There'd be watermelon one day and cantaloupe the next day, and there'd be just cut up like salads of it.
I was impressed with their fruit bar.
It was nuts. I mean, it's not, you're used to having little things like peaches and stuff. You start seeing these exotics, and it's like,
But let's talk about your favorite thing. Come on.
this is it.
The hours of the buffet.
Yes, that we went up there, and every time I'd go there, I'd be like, "Are they open?" They're open. They may not have the whole buffet open, but they're open. There's something open. I guarantee you, there's something open.
It's like they open again at 10 o'clock at night and stay open till 2 a.m. Like the most hours I have ever seen a buffet.
We were calling it the midnight buffet, so it was very hard to go up there and not eat a bunch of bad stuff right before you go to bed. So, whereas on other cruise ships, they'll have some little restaurant with like you can go get a pizza or a little snacky thing. The buffet was open.
All
the
right.
whole buffet.
We've talked enough about all of the foods that we enjoyed. But let's talk about things that other people would want to go to.
All right.
So there is 4 main dining rooms. Central Park, Tribeca, Fifth Avenue, and the Manhattan.
Now those are going to be your actual sit-down, upscale stuff, but they also have the specialty restaurants, and those are Butchered Cut, Ola Tacos and Cantina, Cato's Sushi, and I'm going to butcher this, Teppanyaki. So plenty of eateries for whatever you're in the mood for, whether it is part of your included package or an upscale, pay a little more to have specialty dining. Now, we need to talk about our destinations on this trip. So we will have videos to come on each of these where we talk about them and show you more about them. But first, let's talk about Nassau in the Bahamas. And I need to tell you guys, that place has changed. I mean, I was there 25 years ago, and I'll go more into it on the upcoming video, but yeah, lots of things have changed there. I mean, the straw market for one.
I love the straw market.
That's definitely Missy's thing. She was prepared well. I prepared her well, but I told her what it was like 25 years ago when it was literally like timbers and old roofing metal is what the straw market used to be made of, and had a lot of dark turns and corners. Now it's this big, beautiful place.
It is a big, beautiful building, and it's just little storefront things after storefronts in there. And I absolutely love negotiating for a good bargain. So
She brought a whole armful of crap home.
that is where I ended up doing almost all of my shopping for the grandkids and kids.
And she had, oh man, she got one thing, then she'd get another, and then she'd go back to the lady, make her drop the price, and then we go to get another, and she'd make the lady drop price. It was insane, but she was well prepared. She came into it. She was able to walk away. I think she's definitely got the Shaw market down. Now, the port itself has changed, and I think it's important to mention that because compared to what, Bahamas was when I went before, when I literally saw cops like drinking on duty. But now they were very much out there patrolling, taking their jobs very seriously, trying to keep everybody safe. The giant LED board had me intrigued as I walked in.
That was
beautiful. It was so beautiful. And we'd actually sit there and wait for the whole thing to loop so we could see like the sharks and jellyfishes again. But there's all kinds of shops now. But I will say that if you really want to experience the Bahamas and just want to stay close to the port, take a 15-minute walk from the cruise terminal, grab you a local beer like we did, and hit Junkanoo Beach. I mean, I'm going to just be honest. It's beautiful white sands, clear water. If you want to rent a chair or something, you can. We just basically plopped down. One of the local guys, we got him to get me a local beer, and we just enjoyed our time. We swam. The water was beautiful. Everything was great. And I definitely feel like what I thought the Bahamas was all that time ago is very, very different now. And I would encourage anyone that has gone in the past, if it's been more than 10 years, to go back because it's a much different place now.
I very much enjoyed the Bahamas, and I was told the same thing as his experience previously, but I totally enjoyed it this time. But I also enjoyed Ocean Cay, the Marine Reserve.
Oh, yeah.
That place is absolutely beautiful, day or night. It has several beaches on it. It has family beaches. It has other beaches. And it has so much wildlife.
Oh, yeah. The fish in the water, the crabs on the base, the lagoon in the middle, the little crabs would come popping up and go running across, and the water's dead clear. You can see everything.
I told Tony, I said, I am taking my snorkeling gear with me on this one.
Yep.
And I am so glad I did because the fish that we got to see was amazing. And they were just like circling around everybody, like right there, like they didn't even care. And the crabs,
they were everywhere.
I bet most people don't even realize those crabs are down there.
No, they probably don't because they're literally one every like a foot around you. But even though we had weather turn in the afternoon and kind of ruin the whole buffet experience they did there, we did get to sample the food trucks.
Those food trucks were really good. So they offered several different things. We got jerk chicken, jerk fish, fried plantains.
Yeah.
And a coleslaw. But it was like a tropical slaw.
It was a vinegar base, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
But it definitely, it was Baja based. I'm sorry.
Oh, it was Baja.
But it definitely was perfect to be sitting there and you've got a cold drink and you've got these little, not bad for you, but little treats from the local food truck, beautiful waters to go out in. Everybody was having an excellent time. I will say that as I look back on it, the beaches we went into were awesome, but I admit I really had a good time in the lagoon in the center. I do feel like I really enjoyed that. We basically could sit down on our butts and just kind of chase the crabs around. And
don't just stop there at that first beach whenever you get off.
Yeah.
Really explore the island because it's definitely worth it.
And all the beaches are different. One of them literally is all rock. That is it is rock. And
make sure you check out the lighthouse show at night.
That was actually amazing. The lighthouse during the day, you can go up in it, so you should do that. But at night, they basically make a projection of the lighthouse, and it is awesome. Okay, so moving on from destinations, there's two things we need to talk about before we talk about the cost and our final thoughts. Because I feel like these two things don't get focused on enough, and I think that they are important when you're dealing with MSC. And the first one, honey, is the elevators.
So the elevators work a little bit different on an MSC ship. You walk up to the elevator, you push the floor that you want to go to, and then it will tell you what elevator you're going to go to. So it's A, B, C, or D. It's also going to tell you an approximate time for that elevator to get there. Don't believe the time. I don't think it's right. But it's there.
I think that it's just a different way, and it keeps people from just piling on an elevator and, just trying to get to the next floor, which actually slows things down. Now, I don't know if this is something they do in other countries and their buildings. It is a very different system. Some people hated it. Some people loved it. But it also kind of broke the whole, we're going to press all the buttons.
Yes.
So that doesn't work there.
And it goes directly to the floors.
Yeah, it doesn't go stop at another floor. It goes to the floor, which a lot of people don't realize that when they're taking them, and they think that, well, we'll just get off on whatever floor it opens on. That's not how it works. So that one is definitely something you should know because people get very confused. But the other one, and I kind of took this one personal because I believed it when other creators said it. And then I went there and I was like, you guys just don't understand. And that is people calling the ship flashy or gaudy because of the style it is. First off, we have to understand this is an Italian line. They are not going to decorate the ship in an American theme. It's going to be decorated in an Italian theme. So to make you understand, the entire ship is basically chrome and crystal. That's how it's laid out. What that does is, it gives a better opportunity for people who are doing the photography there, or you yourself when you're taking pictures there. It's very lit up in a certain way to create a good picture environment.
Definitely. I found it very beautiful myself.
But even like the artwork is chrome, bent metal. You'll find laying around. You'll find the skylines of New York in there that they have is made out of metal. They created an environment that is different from most other ships. It is flashy. It is lit up. It is crystally, but it's done very tastefully. And anybody who doesn't like that style, I can understand that. We're all going to have our likes. But I think that when they planned out the ship and thought it out, I think they made good decisions with how they laid it out and how they decorated, in my personal opinion.
I agree. I think it's a beautiful ship.
So now, this is what everybody's been waiting for. And this is the part that really makes us have to rethink other cruise lines. And that's the cost.
Definitely. So you have to remember that we did go in an off season. It was mid-September that we booked.
Mm-hmm.
The cost for the cruise for double occupancy was $607.
Now that would have been for just our interior stateroom, not the balcony. So that needs to be addressed. But for two of us, that's all taxes and fees. That's not gratuity, but taxes and fees. For a 5-day cruise, $607 for both of us. Think about that. If we hadn't got anything else, that would be the actual cost we would have paid the day we booked for a 5-day cruise. That's why MSC is getting popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
if you book your drink package and your Wi-Fi at the time of booking, you get a great discount.
And that is the browse package we're talking about here. They have a stream package, but be on the lookout for a video coming out after this one to tell you some workarounds for that?
So we did end up booking the drink package and that Wi-Fi for an additional $516.
Which I don't think we'll do again, because no matter how hard we tried,
We still
couldn't make the numbers work, because I could sit there and drink the 15 drinks a day, which is what you really need to do to make it work. And I just don't feel like drinking that much every day. I mean, you'd have to drink from morning till night every single day you're there, and then your last day and your first day, you have half a day to drink that much. So it just didn't make a whole lot of sense for us, but we did it and we had fun.
This was definitely the ship to try it out.
Oh yeah. They definitely did a good job, and that's the other problem with this ship. They didn't always scan your card when they handed you a drink, so it didn't count towards your 15.
Or they'd make them a little bit stronger, and you wouldn't need as many.
But they did that because they wanted the next number to be pretty high.
So we paid $128 in gratuities. That is for both of us. It was $64 a person.
So if you didn't get any of the add-ons, you're looking at about $750 for the two of us in an interior stateroom for 5 days. That is dirt cheap, guys. Dirt cheap. But we did get the Wi-Fi. We did get the packages. What was our total cost out the door, honey, with gratuity, with the cabin, the actual cruise cost, and the Wi-Fi, and the drink package?
$1,251.
Now that is out the door pricing. That is literally every penny we paid on this cruise, other than your shopping. But I think it shows the way that MSC is putting together their cruises here. Now, I'll go into more detail about how they can afford to have this pricing and still keep the quality up, because they have a different business model than most other cruise lines. I'll do a video on that in the future. But realistically, what was your overall thoughts, honey, if you had to tell someone how you felt about MSC as a cruise line?
I was very impressed with MSC as a cruise line. There was nothing that I was terribly disappointed with. There was a lot of things that I was overly impressed with.
I think that the only thing I can say against it, and I think this is where all the ships are going, is the pools are good, but they're different now. And I think that change some people will like, and I think that change some people will not. I think it's going to be a personal opinion. I do think that there's a lot of things changing in the cruise industry, especially how they build ships, like putting the key card in the room in order to turn your lights on. And they do that to save power, but also to tell if you're in there. So there's a lot of differences and a lot of strange things that we had to get used to on this cruise. But every one of them was minor compared to the quality we got. And for us, we also factor in the price point. And I think that it would be very hard at that price point to outdo MSC. And I think that's why they're tearing up the cruise industry the way they are.
I was also very impressed with the boarding and unboarding process.
Oh my gosh, they got that stuff
So
figured
easy.
out. They got that stuff figured out. If you get there, just go in. Just go in,
We
park and go
actually
in.
boarded an hour before we were supposed to.
It took from the time we sat in a line, we probably spent more time sitting in a line to park the car than it took us to get on board. And I don't care what time they tell you to be there. If you get there early, go in. Go through. Get on the boat. Because it will blow your mind how fast. The whole process is very straightforward. They're not screwing around. They've got the people there. And we were off season doing this, guys. And they were just slamming us through. The entire area had no one not working when they were checking us all in. Everybody, boom, boom, boom. As fast as they could get the people on there, they were getting you on the ship. So, yes, that is a massive improvement. But I think you should go try an MSC cruise. I don't want to try to butter your bread and tell you that you're going to have the best time in the world. But when you ask yourself, if I want to do the same cruise and not have the drink package and the Wi-Fi, I can take my spouse to a 5-day cruise for $750 out the door. Come on, guys. It's time to start thinking, the value of that compared to, you could almost go do that cruise twice for what other cruise lines are charging for a 5 or 6 day. You know, you really could, guys. So I think it's worth everyone at least going and taking a look at what they offer.
Or if you've already done one, let us know what your opinion was of it in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to have a conversation about it. And if you think there's anything we missed that people should know about, please leave it down in the comments as well. But with that said, we're going to have tons more content coming up because we got all the goods for you about what we did in Nassau. We got a video coming out about Ocean Cay Marine Reserve. So you guys can see all the different stuff as well as possibly a ship tour. We'll see what we ended up with footage-wise. But with that said, if you haven't already, and I don't know why you wouldn't have, go down, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you see all of our upcoming videos. Go ahead and take a moment, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And with that said, we will see you guys in the next one.